Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 11th Stretch. This is the series preview of the upcoming Mets series. Before we get into the information, just want to let everybody know we are both having technical difficulties with the camera, so this will just be audio. If you like this better than seeing us when we're talking, then let us know
exactly.
in the comments.
You don't have to see our faces anymore.
Exactly.
It's the timing.
Yeah, exactly. So this will just be audio for this one. But if you do prefer just the audio over the video, let us know. Maybe we can work something out with that. But we're just doing it this way so we don't have to stop the video during recording. But without further ado, let's get into the information about the upcoming series against those New York Mets. The starting pitchers. Yeah, it's a huge series for the Cardinals and a huge series for the Mets, too. There's a lot of riding on this one. So let's start off with the Mets pitchers then. I saw that Jonathan Nee starts the first one, Jacob deGrom starts the second one, and for the third game, I didn't have a starter listed, so I just put to be determined at a later date. I'm sure other sites have one listed, but on the one I use, I did not find one for the third game.
And there is a reason for that, of which we will get into in just 1 second. But for the Cardinals starters, it's going to be Jaime Garcia, Carlos Martinez, and Adam Wainwright will wrap it up.
And here is the reason why there's a to be determined for the third game. Steven Matz went on the DL with elbow issues. He's had a lot of bone spurs this year, basically kind of having a down year for him injury-wise. So that is why there is not a starter listed for the third game. Either they're going to move somebody up in the rotation or they're going to just pull somebody from either the bullpen or from the minor leagues to start that game, I would assume.
Right, and that's also a big loss for the Mets. Anyway, injuries-wise for the Cardinals, I don't have anything new for you except for the fact that Brian Pena was sent on a Class A rehab assignment on August 19th. He could be back in September. There isn't an official timetable for his return. But other than that, nothing new for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and that's really, really good to see. For the Cardinals is no new injuries. It's just a lot of old ones that are going to hopefully return soon going into those playoffs. Who's hot for the New York Mets if you're a fan of them? Yoenis Cespedes and Curtis Granderson have been pretty hot as of late. I have got to see them a little bit on TV, kind of some of the highlights. But I think if they're going to go on a playoff run and kind of make this thing happen, those are kind of the key pieces they need to get hot. And who's not hot for them all season has pretty much been their catcher's position. They're just not really – they don't really have an offensive catcher. Defensive catcher is kind of okay, but really just the Mets just do not have a really good catcher. And they kind of try to run it.
Catchers are very hard to find these days, and ones who can swing the bat are pretty much a hot commodity.
Exactly. The Red Sox took a chance on Sandy Leon, and he's actually paid huge dividends. But the Mets have not found their Sandy Leon, so to speak. So, catcher's really not too good for them.
Okay, who's hot for the Cardinals? I'm going to list off a bunch of names here. Johnny Peralta, 7 for 14 against the Phillies. Jed Jerko had 2 home runs. Moss had a home run. Hazelbaker had 2 home runs. Basically, everyone in the lineup is hitting well. Who's not hot for the Cardinals? Starting pitcher Adam Wainwright. In the month of August, he is throwing out an 8.53 ERA. And in 19 innings pitched, he has 18 earned runs and 10 walks. Very uncharacteristic of him. He's looking a bit more like he did to start the season, which is not a good sign if you're a Cardinals fan. But the hope is that he can right the ship later on.
Yeah, and real quick, if you guys didn't know, the Cardinals actually tied a record for pinch hit home runs this past series. Jeremy Hazelbaker hit one, so I believe that puts him at like 19 or something like that.
I think it was a 13 or 14 or something.
Okay.
I don't know exactly, but somewhere around 12 or 14.
Yeah, and as you guys can remember, earlier in the season, they passed the club record, but now they have tied, I believe, the major league record for pinch hit home runs in a season. So, without further ado, let's get into the predictions of the series. I believe that the Cardinals could take 2 out of 3 of this one, just because Jonathan Nee has not been super good. I believe the one that they are going to lose is going to be the Jacob deGrom. He's just really, really good. unless he kind of has an off day. And then the to be determined. You don't know who it is, and I think as a player that kind of gives you the advantage because you're just going to go out there and swing at what's good, and you're not going to look for any special pitch from the person. Obviously, they're going to know before we are. So, but other than that, I think that the Cardinals can take 2 of 3 of this series.
I'm exactly with you. I do believe that if Steven Matz was pitching on Wednesday, that the Mets would win 2 of 3, given how the Cardinals have played at home this season and how good DeGrom and Matz are. But I don't trust John Neese, and to be honest, I don't trust whoever they throw out on Wednesday. Maybe somebody from the bullpen, or they call somebody up. Who knows? But I'm going to go with the Cardinals 2 of 3 as well.
Okay. Other than that, that is all I have. Paul's actually going to wrap this one up, but just real quick to let everybody know, we are going to keep producing content. So just be careful. Watch out for that. Wednesday should be a podcast, and Sunday should have one too. And I believe Paul can correct me if I am wrong, but there should be one more preview this week as well.
Yeah, the Cardinals play at home against Oakland this weekend, so that'll be a preview on Thursday or Friday as well. But that will do it for us. For Alex Schneider, my name is Paul Epi from the 11th Inning Stretch. Thank you for joining us.